Okay, we decided on a plan. We're going to drive up 321. Over there on the right, they're building us a Highway 55. Probably the slowest project in the history of man.
It's been going for some time.
Yes, it has. That's in Lenore. We're not in Granite Falls now. We're in the town of Lenore right before you start up towards Blowing Rock up the mountain. So, I'm getting ready to ride through Lenore. I think we're just going to see how far we can go. I don't know if it's actively snowing up there right now or not, because I was able to see most of Grandfather Mountain just a minute ago. And normally if there's snow falling, you can't see it. So I'm guessing we're going to be okay, but the road has been bad in some areas. So we're just going to see what it looks like. Not going to take any unnecessary risks, but... And Lenore's snowfall really looks equivalent to ours. Nothing really any difference that I can tell. But a few miles out of Lenore, you're going to probably notice it thickening up quite a bit. Once you get to the foot of that mountain and start going up, that's when the totals usually start to climb. So obviously if we stay straight here, we go towards Boone. A right takes us towards Wilkesboro, Highway 18. And the left takes you back towards Morganton on Highway 18. Okay, just gassed up in Lenore and heading on up 321. I actually thought the road would be worse, but actually this part of 321 going towards the mountains, it seems to be better shape than what it was back in Lenore. So we're going to go as far as we can up the mountain today. Look for the snow totals to start thickening up pretty good. Yeah, the sun's trying to peek through. Careful right here. Yeah, we might have reached the end of our journey. I'm not going to get us up that mountain and get us stuck. As long as we can go, we'll go, but really still not any heavier accumulation than what we had. But just the roads seem to be alright folks, we're starting our ascent up the mountain toward Blowing Rock now. So been some rough patches on the road. Right here it's relatively clear, just wet. But I look for the snowfall totals to start getting higher as we go up higher. Should start seeing more snow on the side of the road. Right now we're still at an elevation of about 1,500 feet or so, but we're going to, if we make it as far as Blowing Rock, we're going to be at an elevation of 3,600 feet. So that's quite a jump, and usually the snow totals will jump as well. All along the road here, folks, you'll see a couple of places. Some of them close down for the winter, some don't. A couple little trading posts where you can stop and get you some ciders, honey, apple butter, jellies, t-shirts, baskets, just little places here off the side of the road. Place up here on the left we love to stop at in the fall. We actually stop every year in the fall on our way up to West Jefferson. Is Green's Trading Post. I used to like to get a jug of apple cider there, but they've gotten so expensive the last few years. I don't know, I just ain't paying $10 a gallon for cider. But they really got some good cider there, and we usually stop there and get a few little items. They usually have apples coming into the fall. But the shock of all this trip basically is that the road going up the mountain is better than it is at the foot of the mountain. A lot better. Still not really seeing the increased snow thickness that I thought. I still think we will. Oh, something hit the windshield. That's never a good sound.
No, it's not. Or is that my water bottle popping?
I think that was. I thought the other one, it sounded like something hit the glass. I don't know. I hope it was just your water bottle. Water bottle's easier to place than a windshield.
Absolutely.
I wonder, this is going to sound kind of dumb, if your water bottle popping right there, would that have been because of the elevation? Because my ears are popping at about the same time.
Possibly.
I don't know if that pressure does that or not.
I don't know either.
Seeing a few little snow flurries blowing around. And you look straight ahead of us, you can see going up into Blowing Rock. Snow-covered hillsides there. I believe the snow is thickening up now.
I got that guardrail covered up.
Yep, where they plowed it, the guardrail is covered. Now over here on the left is the Greens trading post I was telling you about. I doubt they're open today.
No, I don't look to me.
That's a place we enjoy stopping at. Usually that one time a year when we're on our way up to West Jefferson. It's just kind of like a little stop off.
They got good honey.
Yeah, they got decent honey. Jams and jellies, and they usually have a good selection of apples. Different varieties.
Does it get real windy?
Yeah, it is windy. It's moving the van around a little bit. Usually that time of year is when I start wanting apple pie and stuff. So.
The fall, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that wind whipping that snow
Yeah, that
around.
got a little whirlwind right there. That is one thing about up around the Blowing Rock area. You get a lot of wind up here. Sure, the Blue Ridge Parkway is going to be closed, so we're going to have to stay on the main roads. So far the road here is no worse than it is back down the mountain. Alright, not much further to go to Blowing Rock now. Still climbing. Shaughnessy was just talking about being hungry, which is good because your appetite ain't been the best last few days.
No, it hasn't.
So that's a good sign there. Yeah, now the snow's starting picking up. A good view back off to the right, back down into the valley where we just came out of. So right up here, right after we get into the Blowing Rock city limits, we cross the Eastern Continental Divide, and that sits at an elevation of 3,620 feet right here, and that's where all the rivers on one side of the divide flow into the Atlantic Ocean, the ones on the other side flow into the Gulf of Mexico. So, we'll be crossing that here in just a minute. Snow flurries flying, and here's the Blowing Rock sign.
They got a pretty sign.
Yes, they do. And yep, the snow thickened up pretty sudden. At least where they plowed it, it's pretty much covering the rail.
Yeah, it is.
So you want to ride through town?
Yeah, keep
Let's
going.
let's ride through. Well, there's two ways you can go here. You can stay on 321. Over towards Boone, or you can veer off of it and go downtown Blowing Rock. So downtown's pretty nice to see in the snow, so we'll just veer off and ride through downtown. Welcome to Watauga County, leaving Caldwell County. Yeah, didn't mean to do that. Didn't see it till the last minute. So we're going to get on Business 321 and go downtown. Not a lot to Blowing Rock. Just a couple, I almost said a couple, but a handful of little shops.
It's quaint.
Yeah, a lot of people like from Florida come up.
They have a Kilwins.
Yeah, they have a Kilwins ice cream. Actually, they got two. One out by shops on the Parkway,
Yeah,
and then one downtown. So we're going to head into downtown. And the snow is flying. Yeah, I think they got a little bit thicker snowfall than we did. I don't think they got a foot.
No, I don't think.
I'd say I'd give them 8-9 inches.
You can tell they kind of scraped the sidewalk off.
Yeah, they did.
You know.
It's a windy day out here. The North Carolina mountains get winters like a lot of people up north don't realize we do. There's this conception up north that it's warm everywhere in the south in the wintertime, but when you get up into some of the mountain areas, you get very comparable winters to what a lot of places up north get. And it's a cold, blustery, windy day out there with a good snowfall on the ground right now here in Blowing Rock. A few years ago, well, it was 2011, February, some of Shaughnessy's family, aunts and uncles, come down from Minnesota, and they had, for whatever reason, kind of a mild, by their standards, a mild winter that year. And I think they said they hadn't seen snow that year, and it was February already. They hadn't had any snow, and come down here and to visit us, and it snowed.
Yeah.
So that was cool. We took them around the mountains to see snow, even though they get a lot of it up there. It was just the way it had worked. That winter they had very little, if any. I think they maybe had a little bit, but they were pretty impressed that we came up here and Parkway was being closed off in certain areas, so they were pretty impressed with the snowfall here. So coming into Blowing Rock now. Looks like little to nothing's been done on the roads here. Maybe plowed a time or two, but like I say, not a lot to Blowing Rock, but just like she said, a quaint little town. Downtown park. Here's a Sunset Grill on the right, and then there's Kilwin's Ice Cream with the burgundy trim there.
I used to bring the boys up here sometimes in the snow.
You want to walk through the park?
Not really.
Let me pull off here. I want to get a quick video out the side of the park here without stopping in the road to do so. See a little bit of how windy it is.
Glad you got a head start.
And that doesn't feel good to have the snow blowing in on your face like that. The wind kind of shifted there.
Think Cracker Barrel will be open?
I remember last year we came up during the snow, they were not.
That's true.
Oh, there's something will be. Boone has a pretty good Cracker Barrel. It's, if you like down home cooking for a reasonable price, but I don't know, the Cracker Barrel up here just seems to be a good one.
It does.
Alright, so this road here, once we go through the town of Blowing Rock, which we essentially have, is going to come back out on 321 and head on over into Boone. Yeah, they got a pretty good snowfall up here, at least 8-9 inches, maybe 10. I wouldn't think it's much higher than 10, But you can see that wind. You can see what the wind's doing. I don't guess you can technically see wind. Wish we could have gone over to the Smokies today, but the Smokies are closed and we couldn't get in anyway, so there's no reason to spend the time to drive over there. And that's where we would normally be headed, like if this were a Saturday, but tomorrow's a work day. In fact, I'm guessing if it were Saturday or a Friday, we would head over there and probably just find a reason to spend the night.
Yes, we probably would.
And we can't do that because I have to go back to work tomorrow. I'm assuming, they haven't told us, but I'm sure the roads will be in order by then. Alright, so we're back at 321 now, and we're going to head on over into Boone and get something to eat. Now, a little interesting thing here to the right, this is Aho Road. It's A-H-O is how it's pronounced. We're actually between Boone and Blowing Rock right now on 321. If you go up to the end of Aho Road, well, not the end, but you'll go a few miles and you'll see a church up on a hill. And there's a scene at the very end of the movie called The Green Mile. There's a cemetery scene outside a church, and if you'll notice, a lot of the headstones have the last name Story on them. That cemetery scene in The Green Mile was filmed there at that Aho, I think it's a Baptist church. But it's in that cemetery. I didn't know that till a buddy I worked with. His last name was Story, and he was telling me that, and his uncle's grave is actually in that scene there at the end of The Green Mile. So that's kind of interesting. I think it was supposed to have taken place in Louisiana, but that end scene in the cemetery was filmed right over here. So we're going to see if Cracker Barrel's open. If it's not, I don't know what we're going to eat, but I kind of doubt it is. Usually, a couple times we've come here in the snow and Cracker Barrel has not been open, so I don't know really where we're going to end up, but we'll find out. Alright, straight ahead of you is Tweetsy Railroad. Remember going there as a kid? Fred Kirby was the cowboy, resident cowboy there. Fred's been gone a long time now, but he used to have the Cartoon Corral on Saturday morning too. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember the cartoon.
But yeah, Fred Kirby, he was always dressed like a cowboy. He would either have on usually a red shirt with the white little frills, but sometimes he would have a light blue shirt. And a little kid rides there. And I haven't been to Tweetsy in a long time, but did see on another video that it is really decorated nice at Christmas time, so we may have to try to get up there maybe Christmas this year or something. You know, they have a lot of smaller rides. They have a big train that you can ride around. Last time I was on that train, I got one of those black cinders in my eyeball. That was not fun at all. That is the thing they warn you about, is not sticking your head out the window, because when that thing blows those cinders out of that smokestack, they will get in your eyeball and they hurt when they do. That happened to me last time we were there.
You shouldn't have had your head hanging out the window.
Well, I mean, how are you going to see the scenery if you don't look? Anyway, not too far from Boone now. And the snow flurries are, I don't know if you really call these flurries, it's just light snow showers, I guess. I doubt this is really accumulating much. But whereas Blowing Rock, it was lightly snowing and then there was some light sun, there is no sun over here in Boone. You're pretty much in the system still through the snowfall. Driving in the snow really is not that difficult. You just have to, know a few things. Like if you're going into a curve, don't wait till you're in the curve, try to slow down. Go ahead and get your speed down before you get to it. And try not to hit your brakes going downhill. Use a lower gear when possible and then lightly tap your brakes. If you do start to slide, just have the mindset to turn your wheel in the direction that your rear end's sliding, and you usually straighten on back out.
You're doing an excellent job.
Come in. especially with icy roads. Welcome to Boone, home of Appalachian State University, back-to-back FCS football national champions, and Appalachian State in 2007 went to Ann Arbor, Michigan and defeated the Michigan Wolverines on their home field. And Michigan was highly ranked that year. So the snow is just whipping across the road here in Boone. Just barely a little bit of sun trying to poke through behind my left shoulder. Pretty much cloudy. We're getting ready to see if Cracker Barrel's open, and I'm just about willing to wager. Well, did you see the peddler? Look at the ice.
Oh, wow.
I got to show y'all that coming back through. The Peddler Steakhouse, the awning is completely covered in ice, and it's hanging over so much it's almost covered from the awning all the way to the ground in snow and ice.
Snow looked pretty.
Yeah, that was so. I got to remember to get that on the way back out. I'm gonna get over in the right lane.
Yeah, I don't think Cracker Barrel. I don't even see anything open, to be honest with you.
Something will be open. We'll eat something. Cracker Barrel is open.
Is it really?
Sure is.
Well,
Now, we've been here a lot less snow than this, folks, and Cracker Barrel's been closed.
I'm surprised.
Right?
But yeah.
I mean, less than this.
Well, I'm thankful.
I guess Cracker Barrel finally decided to get it together.
I think they've scraped their parking lot a little bit.
Yeah, it's alright. I'm going to try to park right here in the front. Yeah, I'll let them out.
Oh, well, good.
And I don't even want to know how cold it is. It looks cold.
I know, I dread getting out.
It was cold at home, folks. Boone's usually a good 10, 12 degrees colder, with plus the wind factor. So,
I'm going to put their coats on them.
yeah, that's fine. Alright, finished up eating lunch at Cracker Barrel in Boone, and it's 3:30, and we got here, what, 1:15? 1:30? They got basically two people running the whole restaurant today.
Cooking, serving, cleaning.
And taking the bill up and everything else. So
Bless their hearts.
yeah, one man and one woman. The line, we waited in line probably, I think somebody said in front of us, an hour and a half. But there's just not a lot open in Boone.
I was gonna say, yeah, you have really no other choice.
Yeah, and they were doing the best they could. So can't really say anything because they were working hard to serve everybody. So had a good lunch. Drive up through Boone just a little bit.
Nice.
It's a windy, cold day up here in Boone. I think when I checked a few minutes ago, it was 21 degrees with a feels like temperature of 4 with this wind. Through town and then head on back down the mountain. For a milkshake?
They're open.
Cookout is open.
Cookout.
This is not really a milkshake type of day.
No.
Hardly anything is open today.
What kind of lights has that one vehicle got on it? Those yellow lights.
I don't know. Bright.
No.
on the campus of Appalachian State University. Not that you can actually see it with all the snow blowing around. I'm going to get up here and turn around. Hoping to ride through King Street. I think I should have stayed in the other lane. Over to the left, again, it's not really even visible, just barely, is Appalachian State University. Home of the Mountaineers. Here we turn left onto King Street, which takes us into downtown Boone. Daniel Boone Williams? We're not over. I may have to put him in the back. I may have to use the wipers. Downtown here. We don't get downtown Boone a whole lot. Jimmy John. McAdoo's. They got good cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that snow piled up good, don't it?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's pretty much downtown. There's not really a lot going on in town today. Mushroom. I didn't know they had a mellow mushroom here in Boone.
I didn't either.
Okay, well, we are at the edge of town, so we're gonna go ahead and turn it around now as soon as I can find a place to do that. We're going to go back the way we came, and I'm going to record that in front of the peddler. That was pretty cool. I don't think this is the same peddler, or, well, I'm not saying it's not the same owners as the one in Gatlinburg. The menu's slightly different.
The writing's the same. What we're signing.
It is. It's similar, yeah, but the menu is different. But I just like the way that. I don't know if I can get in there without getting stuck. Let's see. Yeah. Anyway, look at that right there.
It's pretty cool.
Correct, I look at that.
I didn't mean to leave the dash camera. Okay, folks. I hope y'all enjoyed the drive-through of Boone, North Carolina on this balmy January day.